Good morning, everyone. It is November 14th. We got the morning market rundown here. Let's dive into this potential scenarios of price action and talk about key levels over the upcoming days and for today. We're going to dive into the daily time frame first, here on the left side. And we can see here that we placed the red VWAP at the election VWAP. And on Tuesday, we bounced off. Wednesday, we bounced off and we created this inside day yesterday. Okay, so if this VWAP here breaks at the 595.24 area, 595.24 here, monitor a further decline down into this gap area at 592. Okay, and a potential further decline down into this 10-day moving average at 586.39 with this previous level of resistance right up in here can then potentially act as support. And you can see here we have the Fibonacci retracement that this pullback is 38.2 retracement, and then your 618 retracement is a pullback just underneath this 20-day moving average, and then filling up with that VP node right here. So let's dive into the intermediate time frame and talk about what could be playing out and what happened yesterday. So just remove this Bollinger Band. And let's just go into a smaller time frame just to make sense of yesterday first. So we talked about a couple things that could play out. And we talked about this decline back to the election VWAP. And we also mentioned that this is a key level. And we said that maybe this will reject the daily VWAP, break below, and then you would short if you were aggressive trader underneath this 594 for that decline into that 590, 588 month to date VWAP. If it was able to break above and reclaim the daily VWAP and break the 2-day, potentially the level of interest would be that week to date VWAP. And that's where I was looking for that extra confirmation to look for the break and the reclaim of the week to date VWAP. So this is where we actually had the flag from yesterday. So the entry would be here, right? And our stop would be here underneath this 2-day VWAP, right? So we run up. I did a fib extension from this push up to the 2-day VWAP and the pullback just underneath the daily VWAP, which you could see this is the VWAP from the low a day yesterday. So we had that fib extension and that generated that 1.618 retracement extension. And so, if you were aggressive, you could take the trade once this rally to a new high above a flat to rising VWAP, pulls back, but you are underneath the 2-day and week to date VWAP. So perhaps now the setup could come into play where the daily VWAP is above these key VWAPs and the average daily buyer is in control and will be potentially having more of the appetite to defend their position. So we get that rally up. We can manage this with a 2-minute stop. So once it breaks the 2-minute low right here, breaks that 2-minute low, we're out right here. So we risk potential. There's your risk level into here, right? And now if you wanted to take a third and then keep the rest on the balance and then double top, start managing it. But essentially we got stopped out and now we're trading back up. So ideally today we push back up into this area, reclaim this 598. Let's clean this up now. Ideally, this just continues to play out here. So we have this reclaim. So maybe we push up, start to reclaim this area, and it can start to fuel that rally up to the upside. So it's got the week to date VWAP underneath us, daily VWAP above us, and gives us evidence to get that continuation into that 599.600. However, monitoring the same situation here, that with these, that if we get this decline, to monitor that break underneath. Let's get rid of this. This was our the election VWAP. So if we break these two VWAPs here, get rid of this as well. If we break this 594.68, monitor the decline at the 592, maybe that retest of that resistance of support becoming a resistance, and then that further decline back to 588, potentially down into 584. QQQ, yesterday's price action, we see that we tagged that election VWAP. You can see the election VWAP from here. We tagged it on Tuesday, tagged it on Wednesday, rallied back above the daily VWAP, reclaimed the daily VWAP. So this could be here with a stop under there for a push into the week-to-date VWAP, and then leave some continuation. And this is the play that we set up yesterday. And same concept with the SPY. We move our flag over here and our anticipated price action. We could see that we reclaim that daily VWAP, right, with that stop right here. So barely moving these, and these weren't forecasts. These just were potential scenarios that could play out that we could put risk on and play on where the odds are in our favor. So you can see here, we monitor that into the 515, starts to break this VWAP from the handoff, and we start to make lower lows and lower highs. So that was a play that we talked about yesterday from the day trade side. And we also just reviewed the daily VWAP to the long side, rally to a new high, above a flat to rising VWAP, reclaim strength, and then the stop could be right underneath this level, or like we talked about, would be underneath one of this area, or if you have a bigger appetite, lower day. And in hindsight, if you held that took that trade and held it, and it keeps going, you're going to look like a genius. But it's just how you want to manage your risk and what you're willing to accept. So the potential situations for today on the Qs, it's going to be the same thing here, that realistically you could see that we're trading underneath all of these VWAPs in the pre-market. So this really needs to break above, with then prefer to see it consolidate, then get going to feel that push. So that would be the upside situation. Start to see again, same thing, where this week to date VWAP starts to become support when we get evidence that the weekly buyers for this week are gaining control instead of sliding down the slippery slope of hope. So, and on the flip side, let's monitor to see what we'd be looking for on the downside. We could pretty much just move this guy over. It's going to be the same situation as yesterday, and monitoring this break of this VWAP here, and then potentially maybe where this is support, this is support becomes resistance. We break below, we can anticipate it with a stop there, take some profits off, right? And maybe this is where it recovers and the primary trend stays intact. So just when in doubt, zoom out. So what we're going to do is just want to get rid of all this. And I just hate how dirty this chart is. All right, well, anyways. There we go. Just get rid of these horizontal lines. No need for that. Nice clean chart. So we got the Qs here, and we could see here, we just put a Fibonacci just to get some idea on top of some other indicators. That's a 10-day moving average, 20-day moving average would be where support becomes potentially comes resistance. And that saying we're going to pull back here. Maybe we're going to just move sideways and let this 20-day moving average just catch up through time. And we just start to frustrate shorts, thinking that because we ran up, it's going to pull back, and it'll look very similar to the SPY when we barcoded up in this area. And when we talked about this, and we still even have the VWAP from that area as a key level. So this is what we're looking for. Some key levels here. Monitor. We'll put this VWAP here. Make it just make it orange, and then we'll make this one dark blue like we did. We'll make this red like we did on the other one. So if this breaks, you can see it here on the intermediate time frame. Back it out to a 30. If this 510 breaks, then monitor that further decline to 507. This potential area of support could act as resistance for further decline down to this 503 and a potential further down into this 497 area maybe. If you like this, please like and subscribe.